Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Look, before I go into this video, I'm just going to put it out there. This is the only video that I hadn't planned for today, and then I was going to stream this evening. However, there's some interesting news which started coming out yesterday when Hasbro announced a new line of Transformers. And of course, hashtag first world problems, there's a bunch of people going mental on Twitter about them. If you'd like me to do a video about that, thumb up this video so I know. So I'll just do one straight after this, get it all set up, and then I'll stream this evening as planned. So you get an extra video dealing with stuff which I love to deal with, obviously. But this is the revenue charts for January 2020. Slightly different this month. I've got it all out there for you to see because I want to discuss certain specifics this time around, trying something different. As you can see from the title of the video and the thumbnail of the video, there's actually some interesting stuff which relates to what I used to do on this channel, which was basically all World of Warcraft stuff. So before we get into that, let's just get into some other things. Mobile, first of all, Honor of Kings, Candy Crush, Clash of Clans, I want to say cans for some reason, boom, boom. Coin Master, Mafia City, Roblox, whatever. Look, if you want to waste your money on this garbage, fine. It's the fastest growing industry. God knows why. There must be a lot of stupid people out there that love to throw money down the drain. So you get what you deserve. Joker, bang, headshot. Okay, so with that said, some more specific elements to this month. We see console number 3 on the and PC number 5. Dragon Ball Z Carrot. Yeah, we'll go with that. Dragon Ball Z Carrot came out and has sold 1.6 million digital units. This, of course, being the digital charts. So selling very well indeed. And whereas most of them have been multiplayer fighting games, this one is a single player action role-playing game. And, of course, we're living in a time where whenever a good single-player game is released, it sells well. We saw it with God of War. We've seen it with Detroit Become Human. We've seen it with Resident Evil 2 Remake. We've seen it very specifically with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which was one of the best-selling games of last year. So when a good, a well-made single-player title comes out, it sells, which goes completely against the narrative which games companies want to put out there, which is people don't want single-player. People want sandbox MMO games to dump money into digital cash shops. So fuck off, you know, just EA and all you lot, just fuck right off. It's pretty clear that people want single-player games. It's pretty clear that people love single-player games. Some will appeal to certain fandoms, like Dragon Ball Z, for instance. But Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, just a lot of people seem to like it in general as a good game. It seemed to have a kind of mix between not just the Star Wars lore, but you had your action element, your Tomb Raider element, almost a Dark Souls element in terms of combat and such. And so it appealed to various different single-player genres out there, and it attracted a lot of people to purchase it. Did very well indeed. I've played it. It's very good. I enjoy it a lot. So yes, so the sooner games companies begin to actually listen to their customers, the better. Fortnite is not performing. I mean, it seems so bizarre to say this, but it's not performing particularly well. Coming in at number 7 on the console, not making an appearance in the PC side. It's dropping off dramatically, and I think it's at its lowest point since around November of 2017, something like that. But it's still, it's still generating an absolute truckload of money. And in actual fact, there are certain games which aren't on here, but Battle Royale games in general, not doing as good as they have been doing. Apex has had a little boost this month, well, last month in January, but didn't do what it did in December, did less than it did in December. PUBG did have a good month, but didn't hit the charts because it released the new Season 6 stuff, which actually rose spending by something insane like 512%. But that's coming off a very lean period indeed, where people were not particularly making any purchases in there. So at the moment, there's been not a falling out of grace or anything like that, but I think certainly the shine has come off Battle Royale. It's been at the top for almost consistently for 2 years now. Pretty consistently, just over 2 years. And so I think maybe people are trying to gravitate towards something else. Maybe this is why there hasn't been a renaissance in single player by any stretch, but people are just kind of wanting to get away from that multiplayer side and actually get involved in some single player games. As you can see, Jedi Fallen Order is still showing in the console chart at number 8, so it's still having a good showing there. And then you've got your typical FIFA 20, NBA, Madden shite, which comes alongside it. World of Warcraft West, that's not including China. So this is World of Warcraft coming in at number 7, and SUPERDATA are reporting that subscribers are up 17% with the release of patch 8.3. However, that still doesn't offset the fact that subscription numbers, according to SUPERDATA, are down 64% since August of last year, which of course was the release of Classic. Now, because we don't know the specific numbers of World of Warcraft subscribers, Blizzard stopped giving those out in Warlords of Draenor because they were falling off a cliff. And so, whereas they like to brag about subscription numbers because they were high, they were better than everyone else, and Blizzard's quite an obnoxious company, when they started to plummet and they lost almost 50% of their subscribers in a 9-month period, they suddenly went, we don't need to give them out. We're going to stop giving out subscription numbers because we don't really want to do it. Oh my god, the babies. And so, yeah, so we don't know specifically. However, we could guesstimate from revenues and such like that. There was a pretty decent guesstimate that approximately 3 million people came back for WoW Classic, which by the looks of it was slightly more than was actually playing the current version of the game, putting the current version of the game around about 2.5 million. Bearing in mind, these are guesstimates. So that would have put the grand total at approximately 5.5 million, give or take. So if it's lost 64% since then you can attempt to sort of work out where numbers are. Now, the bad news for WoW, not that isn't bad enough, is the fact, of course, that they have announced there's no new content coming for this expansion. That's it. It's done. It's over. And so people now have only got 8.3 to contend with, and then they've got to wait for the new expansion to arrive. Now, the rumour is the alpha is around the corner for people, but of course you have to be specifically invited to the alpha. When it comes to the beta, I don't know if Blizzard are going to try and pull one. They've been trying to pull a lot of different deals in Battle for Azeroth because it, pretty much looks like subscriber numbers have fallen off a cliff. Whereas if I was them, and I know I shouldn't really give ideas, but if I was them, I'd say, look, do a 3-month purchase, do a 6-month purchase, get access to the beta for the next expansion. It's not out of the realms of possibility if they want to do that. However, what I will say is I'm not going to be participating this time round in the alphas or the betas. I'm fine. I'm not bothered. After I participate in Battle for Azeroth and we gave plenty of feedback, and they just decided not to listen to any of it whatsoever, there's no point. There's no point. And I'm in no rush to see it, so there's no point for me to get particularly invested. However, with the lack of content, it might be something for Blizzard to attempt. That said, you run the risk of what happened with Mists of Pandaria, where you actually had quite a long beta period. So when the game officially came out, a lot of people knew what to expect anyway. And so I think, there wasn't that massive upturn that they really wanted. It went back up, but, we started to see some pretty steep drops in subscriber numbers in Mists of Pandaria. That was the first expansion that we started to see significant drop-off rates. Yes, there have been drop-off rates in Cataclysm, but nothing to the levels of Mists, and then Mists going into Warlords, and then Warlords, bye, see ya, off a cliff. And all the work that they put into Legion, which got some of them back, but they had lost a significant number, seem to have all been gone, and then some, with Battle for Azeroth. So it swings and roundabouts when it comes to WoW. Massive declines in subscription numbers. Final Fantasy XIV have just released patch 5.2. It's very good so far, and I've got a ton of stuff I haven't even touched. Yeah, because I've been so involved with just certain aspects of the new stuff. So, they've got to contend with another MMORPG, which is doing well. Elder Scrolls have got a new expansion coming out beginning of June with the Skyrim expansion for the Elder Scrolls Online. So there's MMORPGs which are around the corner. The Amazon New World is around the corner. So there's a lot of competition out there at the moment for Blizzard. They might struggle significantly in the next few months. So, hope you enjoyed the vid. Hope you had a good eyeful. If you did, do get a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.